Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rapuna Park as we're getting ready for, we're in New Zealand, but we're calling it the Tasman, the V8 Tasman, I think it's Super Prix tonight. So getting ready for what is to be another great event here. The first race of the V8 Supercars here in the SCL. It's going to be an absolute showstopper. Got 32 laps on the board tonight. 2 of them are going to be pace laps, so we're only having 30 laps on the board. Second race will be another 30 laps, and that will be an inversion of the top 10. Just waiting for everyone to get their pit strategy set up, and we'll start our 2 pace laps around Rapuna Park. My name is Warren Keith up in the booth, getting ready to call this one live here on the SCL Racing Network. Here we go. Cars are rolling, and they're going to single file out, probably get in their starting positions as we get ready to go into the pits next time by. Sure, no one's going to the pits now because you're not allowed to. Alright, everyone's staying out. Good. We're going to start our pace laps here at Rapuna Park. Wait for everyone to get in their starting positions, and then we'll go through the field and tell you what everyone is starting to see where your favorite driver will be starting tonight's V8 Supercar event. Let's go through the field right now. First place is Twindy on the pole. Second place is N. Staza. Third place is Bedazzled Slinger. When I was watching qualifying, he did an absolute job getting to the top 3 late in the running. Fourth place is Cold. Fifth place is Super 8. Sixth place, Binary Bullet. Seventh place, Muttley. Eighth place, Watcher. Ninth place, Chunky Beef. 10th place, Carlin Hicks in the Sunday Cup League official account. 11th is Rita St. James. 12th is Moss X. 13th is Hatchie. And in 4th place, rounding out our field tonight, is GTP Striker. So that is your field for tonight's V8 Supercar event, live here at Rapuna Park. As we said before, we are doing 2 pace laps tonight, so these are just the formation laps, if you want to say. We're going to come to the pits, and then the next time by, we'll grid up and get going live here at Rapuna. I can't say that enough. Let's take you some of our onboards tonight. Live here at Rapuna. Muttley's got one of our onboards. Starting near the back of the field. Season 23 IndyCar champion Rita St. James has an onboard for us tonight. Cold has an onboard as he heads into the pit lane. Second place, and Staza has our helmet cam. And on the pole is Twindy with our last onboard of the night. So those are onboards for tonight. Of course, you'll be seeing other onboards on the SCL Racing Network. You probably already watched some of them. I know one of them is Carlin Hicks. He has our official onboard, which is streaming live. This, of course, is a tape delay broadcast commentary, but streaming live when the race was rolling. You should have seen Carlin Hicks on board, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Come off the pit lane, we're going to get everyone back in their starting order as we roll around. Of course, I said Carlin Hicks has one of our onboards. He has the official onboard that was streaming live when we were racing, so there it is. This is the view you might have saw him in on his onboard, so there is his official stream position he loves to use. Back to trackside here, Twindy again on pole. We're starting on pole, ready to roll here at Rapuna Park. one car in the back. Just coming on through. Guess we got one driver taking out tires. Twindy ready to roll here at Rapuna. Coming down the straightaway. Take a quick break, we'll be right back. That was the PlayStation identification to show you we are on the PlayStation network tonight. So we head through the final corner. We're going to grid up here. We get ready to roll. So gridding up is going to be Twindy on the right side and Staza on the left side as they're going to find their grid slots. What's Staza doing? What is everyone doing? So there we go. Pretty equal grids. Front row doesn't have much of an advantage. Everyone's lining up pretty good. The one driver needs to back up. That is Chunky Beef. It's Carlin Hicks getting his positions. Rita St. James in hers. Moss X in his. Hatchie in his. And starting last is GTP Striker. I think Chunky Beef trying to get in his now. What are we doing here? Here we go. So getting their tires cooled down, the longer we wait, is Twindy and Staz. When Twindy goes, we're green. Waiting on him to go here. Of course, how we start this is once everyone's in their position, we say clear. And then the leader has 5 to 7 seconds. So once he gets to 5, counting in his head, he can go between 5 and 7. So just waiting on Twindy to get the call and for him to go. Once he moves, we're green. Maximum of 5 cautions tonight. So 5 safety cars are allowed. Just waiting to go. We've already got the call. Here we go. Car's revving up. And we're green at Rapuna Park. Twindy, great start off the line. And Staza caught napping. Here comes third place. I believe that's Bedazzled. Bedazzled inside of Enstaza. He's got the position in turn 1. Amazing start by Bedazzled. He caught Enstaza out sleeping. Enstaza losing more positions as we roll through. Now Enstaza trying to fight back in the pothole. Bedazzled Slinger looking to defend. He does in the pothole. Everyone seems to get through pretty good the first lap. I'm going to check at the back of the field here. Make sure everyone's getting through. A little bit of confusion back there. GTP Striker making up positions in the back. There he is. He's already made up a position, looking for more in the back of the field. But at the front, it's still Twindy getting a little bit of a jump. He's gone now. He's up to at least half a second lead over Bedazzled. An amazing start by Twindy. No one was ready for that one. And Bedazzled Slinger caught Enstaz out napping. Cold, 4th place, retains his lead. Binary, good start by him. He started 6th, so position gain for Binary. Muttley started 5th, and he's lost now 3 positions off the start. Runs wide into Jeff's corner, and he's going to lose more positions as he's on the opposite side in the Nissan. Gets a little bit of contact there with Chunky Beef as they head down the Dunlop Straight. Carlin Hicks getting a little loose behind them into Rock Corner. Ooh, Chunky getting a little loose. Muttley retains that position as now Chunky gets under fire from Carlin Hicks. That's for the 10th position as we are green now officially from the start. Amazing start by Twindy as Bedazzled is not giving him any slack. Is back there. Ooh, Cold almost going off the track. One driver is off the track. That's Binary getting a little loose at a pothole. He hits it and still continues on a little wide. Now off the track goes Binary. He's going to lose 2 to 3 positions off that exchange. Back at the front, Bedazzled not giving Twindy any room. He's keeping him honest from his position, from his pole start. And the top 4 really haven't spread out, and Staza now closing that gap back into Bedazzled. And Cold still there, keeping, Cole getting loose there at Jeff's corner. Cold keeping Staza honest as they head down the Dunlop Straight. Out of the final corner, Staza keeping it on the track, but Bedazzled just taking a little bit wide. And that's let Twindy now extend his lead to the biggest since the start of the race. Staza a little look inside, a little too far back to do anything. He runs a little wide out of turn 1. And the top 3 still retain their position. Cold starting to fall back from this battle to just about 2.5 seconds off the lead. Chunky Beef back here with Muttley. We saw this battle on the opening lap develop, and now it's starting to regroup itself as Chunky Beef has caught back Muttley. This is for the 7th position on the racetrack. Watcher just behind that. And also Carlin Hicks around the outside trying to look on Watcher. Looking for any way past. He's going to look to the right. Now he's going to look to the left. And now falls back in line. GTP Striker. Now here comes Carlin outside. That's not going to work. Off goes Carlin Hicks. He's going to lose position to GTP Striker. Amazing start by Striker. He's gained the most positions out of anybody. He's now the 10th after starting 14th on the grid. Looking for more. Here comes Striker. Inside the Watcher. Got the move done. Move GTP up to 9th. Amazing driving by Strikers after starting 14th on the grid. Now inside the top 10. Didn't really show promise in qualifying. We didn't do anything with qualifying. We didn't broadcast it. But I was sitting there watching it, and I was, kind of worried about him. He was 14th, didn't have a quick lap, 5 seconds off the pace in qualifying, but now in the race. Look at Striker making his way through the field right now in the 9th, and he's trying to chase down Chunky Beef and Muttley, who have been battling for about, since the start of the race for that 7th position. Now here comes Chunky to the inside of Muttley. Does he try to dive it in here? He does. Move Chunky Beef up a position. Into 7th place he goes, but Muttley battles back on the outside. Muttley holding on to that position as he does. Chunky Beef, this is not helping because here comes Striker right there in your screen, the green car. He's coming along this. He's only got a 2-second gap to these two, but once he gets there, let me tell you, he's going to try to find a way past as soon as he can. But at the front of the field, the positions not going anywhere as the top 5 are starting to reel in. 5th and 6th, that's Super and Binary, are starting to reel in these top 4. So make that just about a 6-car race if they can get there for that top position. Twindy under pressure now from Bedazzled. He has been since the start of the race. Cole has gotten past Stas. I think he's going to go for more here. Camera angle not the best here. Ooh, Stas getting into the nose of Cold. I think Twindy's gone off. Twindy's gone off. Twindy, your race leader off at turn 1. He's going to lose more. Here comes Super. Inside of him, checkmate. Oh, and there's more contact. Ooh, and they keep it together. Whew, that was Binary and Twindy getting into it there at pothole. So Twindy, just in a matter of a second, has gone from 1st to 6th in about 2 corners. One driver off, that I think that's Chunky Beef. Indeed it is. He was battling with Muttley and GTP Striker. Don't know if that was forced contact or not. Didn't really get a good look at it. But it was enough to put Chunky Beef off the course at the hairpin at the top of the racetrack. And now he is behind GTP Striker, who continues his march through the field. He's up to 8th and chasing down Muttley as we speak, as he went off at Jeff's corner and still going off a Nissan. And it looks like Chunky's going to try to make a look here. He looks inside. I don't think he's going to have room there, but Striker gives him all the room in the world. And they will be side by side, but Striker just eases off the last turn, almost at turn 4. At the front, Bedazzle, biggest lead of the race so far, 2.2 seconds, make that 2.3, and now back to 2.1. So just, oh wow, Cold, really running hard. And where did Twindy go? Twindy, nice, he's off the pack here, but here that's not that hard to gain him back. Super buying his time here behind Binary and Cold and Staza. That's the top 3 in one line here, and Bedazzle has opened up the gap now to 3.2 seconds, so really starting to get away now as Twindy kept going off the track. I don't know if that was contact between him and Twindy. That's an interesting question we'll have to ask after this race. Was that contact between Twindy and Bedazzled? Ooh, around those! I think it's Instaza. Indeed it is, spinning off of Nissan corner. Goes Instaza, he gets it back facing the right way, and we are still green. It's a one-car incident. And he's still getting loose, and around goes Instaza yet again. So Instaza just losing this car. Now, if he gets 10th, if he stays in 10th, he can start on pole for the next race. So his best bet here is to stay 10th, and he's about to have Rita St. James on his rear bumper in a matter of seconds. Here she comes now. She's coming up to Instaza here, on board with Rita St. James. Down the Castrol straight. In the pothole. Running wide through pothole, get back before the 200 marker. Ooh, Instaza again off. Instaza not having the best of races at all right now. And what was going to be a okay race for Instaza is Chunky Beef. Well, that's Watcher. Watcher having a moment. Was that contact between two cars? If it was, that could have been a caution. It's the front backing off. No, we're still green. Bedazzled. 3.8, 3.9, 4-second gap. Over second place Cold. And Cold, Binary, and Super having one serious battle at the front of the field. Ooh, Cold barely dipping that right rear off into the dirt. I've seen people do that and end up absolutely disastrous into turn 1 through pothole. Ooh, Super really getting out wide. 200 marker's gone. It's out in the middle of the meadow now. Through the hairpin. GTP back to 9th now after Carlin Hicks starting to make his march back through the field. But amazing, I gotta still say it. Good run by Striker. They're starting 14th. He's had help along the way, but still there. It's Hatchie getting a little spin up there. He gets it back going and straight out of the first turn, heading towards pothole. Back to third place, Binary, Bullet, and Super. The battle is still heating up for the third position onto the podium. Super just behind Binary now. It is still 5 seconds behind Bedazzled. That still doesn't help. That is still a podium up for grabs here in Rapuna Park. And don't look back now. Twindy's made up a little bit more ground. He was about 10 seconds back at one point. Now back to 8 seconds. Keep on the asphalt. He does. Good turn by Twindy, getting it loose into turn 1. Muttley and Chunky Beef and Carlin Hicks having a good three-way battle here. Into turn 1. Ooh, Muttley gone wide there. They save it now. Here comes Carlin Hicks to Chunky Beef. And what does Striker do? He has his windshield wiper on for some reason. That's not going to help your top speed, man. This isn't GT6. And he goes wide through pothole and gathers it back together. So Chunky Beef at the front of this pack here. Binary, Cold, and Super still going at it. The gap has now closed. It's kind of mellowed out between Cold and Bedazzled to about 4.4 was the max, and still 4.4. But Bedazzled putting on a clinic here at Rapuna Park. We'll be right back to Rapuna Park here on the SCRN. Welcome back to Rapuna Park, the SCRN live on a SCL Racing Network on YouTube, brought to you by PlayStation Network. Also by the NRSL Race Hub. Follow them on Facebook. Just type in NRSL Race Hub. Back here at Rapuna Park, Bedazzled still has his 4.4 lead. You've only missed about 2 laps. One droppie out of the race in those 2 laps, and Staza called it quits and returned to pits. So he is out of this one. Hopefully we'll see him back next race. So not holding off where he left off is Bedazzled. Built that gap up now to a 5.2 second lead over second place Cold, as Binary and Super having a little bit of a battle themselves for third place. This is for the podium spot. Checking back in the field. GTP Striker and Muttley having to go at it. That's for, 8th place on the racetrack. We're working lap 13 of 32 here. Bedazzled heading into turn 1, now lap 14 of 32. Let's take a run through the field here at Rapuna Park for the V8s. First place right now is Bedazzled Slinger with a 5.8 second lead over Cold. Talked to Bedazzled before the race. He had pretty high expectations. Said he was practicing all week with Muttley and Binary. So no surprise to see Bedazzled pretty quick in the V8 Supercar. We do expect at least one pit stop. We don't know when he's going to pit. He said maybe about halfway. So we'll try to keep up on that and see if he does follow that strategy. Second place is Cold. Pretty high expectations last season, but some off the airwaves stuff kept him from really competing much last season in season 23. Hoping to make a comeback in season 24. Pretty good start for him, running second right now in the V8 Supercars, which is our off-season league. And hopefully he'll be back. He's running for Cash Show today in that Ford Falcon. Teammates are Rita St. James and Carlin Hicks. So hopefully that'll help him out, and see when he pits. A lot of people telling me halfway is the main time to pit today, and some drivers telling me also with about 5 to go they'll come in. So going to be interesting to see when they come in. Third place is Binary. Again, talking about Muttley, Binary, and Bedazzled. Binary and Bedazzled are actually brothers. As he looks inside of Cold. Talked to him before the race as well. He said, well, you know, me and Bad were practicing all week with Muttley. Didn't really think the car would be that good here, you know. But Muttley and Bedazzled showed him all the tricks and whistles with the anti-roll bars, and he's running third right now, so looking pretty good for Binary. Super, he's been running pretty good. He's in 4th place. He's just outside that podium, trying to keep on these two, hopefully to get himself into 3rd or 2nd by the end of this one. Super's a pretty good racer. We'll see what he can do next season in Camel GT. He doesn't know what he'll be running next season, GT3, GTE, or LMP2, so We'll have to see what he does next season in Camel GT. Looking pretty good here at Rupuna Park. 5th place is Twindy. I believe your season 21 IndyCar, season 21 IndyCar Series champion. Didn't run much last season. Hoping to change that this season. But just about 1 season off for him. Oh, he saves it into turn 1. Good save by Twindy. He's gotten a lot better since he started about a couple seasons ago, back in season, I believe, 16 or 17, or a little bit before that. Twindy's been a really long-running guy. Really good in any car he's in, but right now it seems the V8 Supercar is being a little bit of a pain job for him as he gets it back on track and continues on. Chunky Beef, saw him debut last season in season 23. You know, he's one of the new guys. He's pretty quick. He's had his fair share of moments, though, last season in Camel GT and a couple IndyCar races. So looking to impress this season. I don't think he's on a team for this season, at least not to my knowledge. So hopefully Chunky Beef can have a better season and have a good season 24 ahead of him. There's Muttley. He's one of the main drivers who pushed for this series to be to start up here in the SCL. A lot of Australian drivers through the season. Wow, who was that? Was that Watcher? I believe that was Watcher having an off moment behind him, and indeed it was. Back to Muttley. Muttley, like I said, being one of the main drivers to get this series off the ground. Really, you know, if it wasn't for Muttley begging us to do it, we wouldn't have done it. And right now it seems that it's a good idea to get the V8 Supercars involved, as this has been a pretty interesting race from the get-go. So thank you, Muttley, for getting us started here. We really appreciate that. GTP Striker started 14th on the grid today, guys. And he's now up to, I believe, 9th or 8th place. Make that, well, it's going to be 9th now. And possibly more as he gets into the sand trap in turn 1. Okay, take that back. Watcher was a lap down. So Watcher, 1 lap down now. Might need the pit. Maybe. You got 71 liters in the tank for GTP. I think that's going to get into the end. We're only run 30 laps here. Or 32, I'm sorry. We're only on lap 18, so he should be able to make it. Carlin Hicks. What can you say about him? He's an official. He's really good. Knows what he's doing in these cars, well, at least a car. Said before the race, don't really run these a lot. Let me see what he said. Yeah, don't really run these a lot. You know, it's just tough to get in these cars and just learn them. I asked him, you know, well, what's your strategy for today? He said, you know, there's no strategy at all. Just go out there and run this race. So Carlin just trying to get laps logged in these cars and get himself ready for the Bathurst 500 next week, next Friday night. So just a little bit of getting used to the car, getting how it feels pretty much for Carlin tonight. Rita St. James, your season 23 IndyCar champion, as she just went a lap down. Yes, she did. She just went a lap down to Bedazzled. So Bedazzled putting on a hell of a pace. But Rita, you know, she's very good in these kind of races, you know, these little enduro type races. But this is kind of a sprint race, so you really don't think she'd be that good. I mean, she's holding her own, don't get me wrong. She's an IndyCar champion, but these cars seem to be a little bit of a trick for her. She's learning them. And she said she wants to get better by Bathurst because she really wants that Bathurst win, along with all of these drivers starting out tonight. Got Moss X, he's making his debut tonight in the SCL. So first race with us as blue flag gets out of the way for, I believe that's cold. We don't have blue flags in the SCL, but you can voluntarily have a blue flag. We have a halted car as Hatchie on track as he gets going. Up to speed now goes Hatchie. We don't really want people stopping dead on the track. We might throw a caution for that, so don't do that. But back to Moss X. He's starting tonight. Really didn't talk to him before the race, unfortunately. I really wanted to hear what he had to say about these cars in his league, but You know, definitely going to be one to look for. You know, he's shown a little bit of pace. Of course, these are not the best cars to start your SCL career in, but you know, they're tough cars. We're seeing the best of the best tonight having problems. Who was that just got really wiggly? I think that was Watcher. No, it's not. That was the other silver car. That would have been I don't know. I really don't know. It was another silver car. We'll look back into that later. But yeah, definitely Mosek's looking to impress tonight. Watcher, he's looking for a lot of good things in Season 24 and a Season 23 in Camel GT. He really didn't have the best couple of races at the end there. I talked to him a couple weeks ago at, just a week ago at Le Mans when we had our 2.5 hours of Le Mans. He told me, you know, it's just these cars for this week are going to be tough to drive. You know, it's going to be different from driving anything else he's ever driven. So he's just learning how to get it done. And you know what? If he's running in the back, he's running in the back. But I can promise you right now, when I was racing with Watcher and LMPs the other night, he's quick. He's really quick. So, you know, Watcher just feeling this car out, man. He's a really good racer. Almost won GT3 last season over in the International Series. So we'll see how he does this season in V8 and also Campbell GT. And Hatchie making his SCL debut as well as Mosek's tonight. Hatchie, as we saw, was the stock car on the racetrack. You know, we didn't talk to him at all either, but definitely wanted to impress tonight to see if he can make a team for Season 24. Making a team also secures liveries, which also, in that respect, secures a car when you join a room. So definitely going to want to impress tonight and see if he can join a team. Back to the top of the field, Bedazzled. He's not wasting any time, is he? He's up to a 7. Well, that dropped back down to 6 seconds. So 7-second lead over Cold. We're coming here, 10 to go. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to Rapuna Park. You're watching the V8 Supercars on the SCL Racing Network. Welcome back to Rapuna Park. A little under 10 laps to go now, 9 laps actually, for Bedazzled Slinger. Well, while we were away, GTP Striker made a pit stop, unscheduled, I believe. That's throwing him back to 11th position on track. Back to the front, Bedazzled. Really, what can we say about the guy? He, you know, he had a good start. Got past Enstaza early. Then he got past Twindy after spinning off turn 1 on lap 4. So he definitely had his moments. So now I believe he's catching Carlin Hicks to put him 1 lap down here at Rapuna. He's run a flawless race. I don't think we've talked about Bedazzled having anything wrong in this race. But if he wins this race, that's going to throw him back to 10th for the next race. So we'll see if he can make his way through the field next race. Is this Carlin Hicks? Indeed it is Carlin Hicks. He's coming up the lap. Muttley's already up the track a little ways, so Carlin's probably not going to make another position. Although he could lose one if things go awry. Driver in the pits, that's Hatchie. Wonder what he's doing in the pits. He's just sitting there by the looks of it. Has he stalled out? I don't know what Hatchie's doing. Might be backing into the garage. I believe that's what he's trying to do. I think so. Hatchie calling it quits in this one. Backs into the garage area and retires from this race. Front of the field is still Bedazzled. Check up on second and third place. It's second place Cold. Third place Binary. And Super's caught Binary. So we're going to keep on them. Anything else in the field I need to look at? Maybe Mosex and Rita might be the next battle to look at. Rita trying to get in the top 10 so she could start on pole. Oh wait, she will start on pole, my bad, if she finishes out this race. So, as there goes Hatchie, he's officially called it quits in this race. Back to this battle, it's Binary and Super heading towards Pothole. Heading towards the hairpin. This is going to be one heck of a battle to the end of this one for sure. You know, Super trying to get in that podium position. You definitely love to, that's for sure. As they're coming down the crown lift carousel here. Ooh, Binary went wide. Ooh, that almost ended up costing both of them a race there. Super had a run and didn't take it. Binary wide again. Super, does he take advantage? Just a lot of mistakes by Binary. I am absolutely amazed Super's not gone by him yet. Absolutely bunfounded. Down the straightaway they go again. They start lap 26. Turn one they go. Super running a little bit more conservative line through there. He's gotten to almost near the back of Binary, so about the same gap through Pothole as last lap. Super running a little wide. To the hairpin. Ooh, Super got a little loose through the middle of the hairpin. It's going to lose him a little bit of time. Through the S's. It's probably the most technical part of the track right here. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. Into Jeff's corner. Ooh, Binary wide. Come on, Super. A lot of opportunities for Super, and he's just not close enough to take them. Bedazzle just crossed the line, so lap 27 now being worked on. Watcher, I think, having a moment as well. I know he's battling with Striker. Striker down to 12th. So what was looking to be a great race for Striker now ending up to be an absolute travesty. As now he's back down to 12th, last place on the grid. Back to Super and Binary. Still not letting up, I swear to Lord. They're just rolling along. Cold's got that lead back down to 6 seconds. Oh, Binary off. Super take advantage. He does. Moves Super to 3rd place. That's podium position now, as Binary will have to get aggressive and get that spot back. They're saying Cold got that back down to 6.5 seconds, but now it's back up to 7 seconds. Binary trying to get back now to Super. I think Super's just quicker. I think whatever Binary had is gone now. You're not gonna get that back. 28 now being worked on for Bedazzled. See where Cold is. He's just entering turn 1, so not that far of a gap. If Bedazzled has any kind of mess up, I bet you Cold will be right there to pounce. Check up on your pole sitter, now 30 seconds off the pace. Off the lead, I'm sorry. So he heads down the front straightaway. Behind him's Chunky Beast, so that could be a battle waiting to develop if Chunky can get to the back bumper of Twindy. Binary still keeping Super honest. He hasn't really fallen off that battle. I said there's not much left in it for Binary. I think he's used up his car. But we'll definitely see here. See, head through the carousel. So he's definitely have to pass him here if he wants to be have a podium position. But of course, where he is right now, he's starting a position higher for the second race. So you kind of pick and lose your losses here at this point. Down the main straightaway they go yet again. I think Binary's just used up his tires here. I think Super might have the better car. Yeah, he's already backed up down to just about over a second now between them both. So Super definitely has the better car, the better tires, but if he makes any mistake, Binary's going to be there, as he's almost there now, just up to his gearbox. Or his rear bumper, I should say, not the gearbox. What am I talking about? That's a F1 car I'm talking about. But Binary's back to Super's bumper. We're getting down to it. Remember, 32 laps in this race. We're at 29. So really getting down into the nitty-gritty here. Binary running wide to Jeff's corner. Update on the 20 Chunky Beef. It's up now to his 2-second gap between them both. We'll cut to him right there. You'll see your Chunky Beef in the back of the shot there. So back now to 2 seconds. But Binary losing a little bit of time. The Super off the final corner. Super, knowing he's there, he went down to the inside of the racetrack. So trying to break that draft. Remember, any mess up by Super, Binary's there. Oh, that's why Binary. It's just a little bit off the corner there. It's back up to a second between the two. Rita St. James has caught Watcher. It's a battle for the top 10, so that's a battle for the pole for next race, effectively, because we flip the field in these races. So that's a battle for the pole in race 2. Rita going wide. Pretty sure she doesn't want to start 11th for the next race. As Bedazzle coming to the back of this battle here. To get two laps to go here at Rapuna for race 1 of 2. Tonight here at Rapuna Park, Rita gets out of the way. Good sportsmanship by her. 2 laps to go. Gap to second place is 8.8 seconds. Cole just coming off the final turn. Now he's coming down the front straightaway now. Super just came off the final corner. These two have not given it up. Binary still within just about a second of this. Yeah, Super, I'm sorry. As they're catching GTP Striker entering turn 1. Let's see if he gets out of the way of these two. If not, that might be a big no-no for Super, because that might be lap traffic he has to deal with. And Binary might take advantage of this. A little bit of lap traffic he has to deal with. I think that's Carlin Hicks. Yeah, right ahead of them. So a little bit of lap traffic for these two battling for the podium position. Striker gets out of the way. No, he doesn't, but Binary spins it. You could pretty much write the letter on that one, stamp it, and send it in the mail for Super. That's going to be a podium for him. So third place, you just give it to Super as he gets by GTP Striker very easily. And now we'll work on Carlin Hicks to lap. Coming to the final corner, we're going to get the white flag for Bedazzled. Absolutely fantastic racing. White flag in the air. Bedazzled started this race from 3rd. Told you in the middle of the broadcast when we went through the field. He said he had a good shot today. He practiced all week. He's only got a few corners left in this race, heading to the hairpin. I'm sorry, he's got about half a track to go. What am I talking about? A few corners. That's right. Cole just entering the hairpin. I don't think it's going to be a big deal unless something major happens. Through the carousel. Bedazzle would love to start season 24 off with a win, and he's half a lap away from that. Bedazzled. Through Jeff's corner. Through Nissan. Down the Dunlop straight. He hasn't had an SCL win, but he might get it today. Bedazzled off the final corner will win race 1 from Rapuna. Good racing from Bedazzled. Second place off the final corner. It will have to go to cold unless he discos here. I don't think it's going to happen. So second place on the podium goes to cold. Third place on the podium. It was a good battle while it lasted, but it goes to Super, who finishes out the podium in third. Fourth place, Binary Bullet as he comes across the line. Fifth place is Twindy. Chunky Beef, thought he could have a chance, but that's going to be fifth and sixth. We'll see. Twindy can get through the final corner all right, though. Don't want to jinx it. Indeed he does. So fifth place will be Twindy. Sixth place will be Chunky Beef. Seventh is Muttley. As it stands right now, we got 48 seconds until anyway it cuts. So if things go to planned, Carlin Hicks is in 8th. 9th, Mossy X. So he drifts through the final corner. Beautiful stuff there. 10th, Watcher. 11th, Rita. And 12th, GTP Striker. Muttley through the final corner. I think will be the last driver to finish. Yep. So there is that race, and that'll do it for race 1 at Rapuna Park. Let's take a look at your final results. Bedazzled Slinger winning his first SCL event, followed by Cold in second, and third is Super 8. Thank you for joining us live from Rapuna Park for race 1. We'll have a broadcast for race 2 coming up just a little bit. It should be uploaded just behind race 1, so you'll be able to watch back-to-back in no time. Or in one video, we don't know yet. We'll see you guys later. This is Warren Keith up in the booth. Thank you for joining us here. If you like what you've seen, comment and subscribe, and be a follower of the Sunday Cup League, and get that little ding notification so you can stay up to date with the SCL and every race we have available for you. This is Warren Keith up in the booth. Thank you, and we'll see you for race 2 at Rapuna Park.